Okay, alright. It is going. I gotta see if my mic volume's turned up all the way and then I'll get in there. Alright, it definitely is. I'm just not talking loud enough, I guess. Alrighty. Well, this is another replay that I'm gonna look over just to make sure, you know, whatever. Just another replay I'm gonna look over. He does not seem to be connected to the game right now. Unlucky. So you guys don't know who I am. I'm a high elo Rengar one trick, and I'm looking over a Rengar jungle game to give criticism, constructive criticism, on how he played to help him improve. Oh wait, what happened to my scoreboard? There we go. Okay. So we're just gonna, you're doing mic clear, so we're just gonna keep zooming through. Okay, wait. Right here. Just always put a ward right here as you're walking by, like, as you're coming from golems, like you're walking up. Just keep walking, just drop a ward right here, and then you go to your wraiths. Because, say Trundle wanted to come and cheese you, right? He'd be walking around right here. He coming down. And then he starts doing it, right? He gets to around, like, half health, you loop around and you kill him. So you don't get cheesed. So, that's what I do every game. There's no reason not to do it. I'm just fast forwarding because if I watch it at normal speed, it'll take so long. Alright, you were kind of... That clear was kind of slow. But not that it matters, but you probably just didn't utilize auto attack resets. Because you're golden spawn at the time that you get there anyways. Oh, you got cheesed. Unlucky. Okay, you got him though. Nice. Ooh. That's an okay play, but that's pretty aggressive to get really nothing out of but one kill. I don't think that was worth it. We'll see if you still meet the guidelines of the 10 minutes. But that was just too aggressive. You shouldn't be going that aggressive early game with Rengar until you get at least one good ultimate off and you get some items going. Dude, why is it not focusing you anymore? I don't want to watch bot lane. Okay. Okay, you see this? 754. Wait, no. Let's see when you get here, and then we'll go back. Okay, you get here at 8 minutes. 8 minutes and 5 seconds is when you start hitting the camp. Okay. And when do you start hovering? Okay, so you start. You basically just wasted 35 seconds. Because you walked here, did scuttle crab when your camps were up over here, and then you waited here. You wasted 35 whole seconds right here. Don't do that. You could have just went boom, boom. Scuttle crab isn't worth it. It doesn't give you much. And then you wait in the brush. Don't hover. That's called hovering. I know I've talked about it before, but I'm just saying if anyone else is watching the video, just don't hover like that. That's gonna fuck you up. Because not only did you die by that one time early game where you just dove because you were playing aggressive, well, too aggressive, but you also hovered right here. But can he do it? Oh man. You should just bullet there. Okay, I don't expect you to hit a bull on Scion. Okay, so let's just watch this again. Let's watch this one more time. So, when you see when you see him right here, okay? Instead of using your Q, you should just Bola. Like, if you would have Bola'd, if he would have ulted you, right? You could have just walked around because he'd still be bullied, and then you would have enough ferocity to bully him again and kill him. And then you would have been able to kill Sion. Like, there's no reason to Q there. I know you want to Q because you're like, well, he'll just ult me back anyways. But you probably would have got more damage off. He didn't use his ultimate like the whole time anyways. You probably would have got more damage off if you had just bullied. And then you had another time to blow right there too. And then when you go on Sion right here, if you would have just empowered bullet, you would have been able to kill him. Because you would have had Jace to follow up. So just use your Bolo more. Don't be afraid. I mean, you killed them anyways, but that doesn't excuse any play. Just don't be afraid to use your Bola. Just get used to it. Like, I mean, next patch it'll be different, so I'm not going to say anything. But you should have bullied like right at the start of your jump, or you could have just done what I do, and you could have just stood still in the brush and then bullied, so you didn't miss it because of your jump. If you didn't think that you were going to be in the correct range. Okay, so at exactly 10 minutes, where you're supposed to have 50 farm and be level 8, you're nearly level 8, but you're really far behind in gold than what you're supposed to be because you hovered so much. Like, don't do any of this hovering, okay? None of this. You need to break this habit. Don't walk up here and just sit in the brush. Your ultimate's down too. You're not going to be able to kill the Azir, who's level 6. You need to just make decisive decisions. I know I've said this before, but you need to think before you go, like, how's this going to work out? And then if it's going to be, oh, I'm probably going to sit there and hover and not be able to do anything, then you go, fuck that. I'm not going to do that because that's gonna mess you up in the long run. I mean, you already, like, you had a lead, right? Because you got to kill when Trundle cheesed you, but then you threw the lead when you died here because you died. That's effectively throwing your lead. Okay, let's keep watching. Unlucky. Not much you can do about that one. Okay, so you hit level 8 at 11 minutes, so you're 1 minute behind, and then you're you're basically 1 minute behind right now from hovering. Alright, at least you understand the power spike though. You understand what to buy. That's good. Okay, that's a pretty early ultimate. That was pretty ambitious. I don't know if you like panicked there and that was yeah, that's a little bit of a panic. Maybe you thought they were gonna go for your ward right there, but this was a clear misplay. You know you did wrong here. You just ulted too early. It's okay though. This is your first game back in a while. That was just, you know you did wrong there. You just ulted too early. Okay. Do you see this? Do you see what you're doing here? You're just walking around doing nothing. Alright, so let's take a different route here, and let's show you what could have happened. So, when your ult's down on Rengar, you don't want to fight at all. If there's 3 people bot, you don't go bot, because you'll die. You're not relevant with your ult down, okay? So, when you see everyone bot lane, right? Oh wait, no, it's even farther back right here. It's even further back, it's like... Okay, so you see Sion TP bot, right? You see Azir go missing. Your ultimate's down. You're not relevant. You can't go down there and fight. Juicy wave, push into tower. Take jungle creeps. Because you are not going to be relevant in this fight right here. They have a lot of targeted CC for one. You don't have your ultimate up. So you need to be doing something. You don't want to just walk around like, okay, so it's 13, 15 right now. Let's see by the end of this what time it is. 13:15. You wasted more than a minute doing nothing here, walking around in circles. when you could have pushed this wave out and pressured the tower. Because had you pressured the tower, they wouldn't be able to have everyone down here. Trundle would have had to stop you for one thing, and you can kill the Trundle because he's so squishy right now. I think, anyways, is because you have Red Smite. Well, he also it would be close, but you need to be pressuring something because you can't just let them get all this shit for free, and you can't necessarily team fight either because you're Rengar. You don't really have items yet, and your ult's down. You don't want to wait just a minute for your ult to come up, because what you did is you just ran around and you waited a minute for your ult to come up. But you should have been doing things proactively, and then you would have been able to go down there with your ult up after you did the things, because you could have just walked down river. You see what I'm saying? So you're gonna die here. I'm not really focusing on your mechanical errors with Rengar this game. I'm just focusing on your map, what you need to do on the map this game. Because you see what you're... Because you can't be expecting to carry games like when you're playing like this. I'm not saying that like you're horrible. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that if you're playing like you're just wasting a bunch of time and throwing your lead, you can't be expecting to be the one carrying. You have to be making decisive decisions all game. I'm gonna be doing an underranked to Masters here soon on a Smurf, and maybe that'll help out. Yeah, that's unlucky. Oh shit. Him. That wasn't necessarily worth it at all. See, right now you could have like 160 farm and be like 10-0. Keep watching. I mean, like, when you're farming, you're doing it at the correct, like, when you're farming, you're doing it correctly. It's just that the fact that you keep hovering, you need to stop doing that. Like your pathing's great. You learn how to path. So, except for the fact when you do Scuttle Crab, stop doing that. Scuttle Crab isn't worth it. Like, stop like making your path shitty just to walk down and do Scuttle. I mean, you're trading a lot of 1-for-1s here, and I mean that's not necessarily bad because you are behind, but you shouldn't have to play like this. You should just be able to carry. Oh, unlucky. Ooh. He's getting hyphy. Alright. I can dig it, but still died. Trading another 1-for-1. Alright. I don't think your build's that optimal either. Unless you want to go crit Rengar, but don't go this build. This build isn't crit Rengar. Yeah, you made too many mistakes early game, my guy. I'm gonna keep watching though, even though I think it's over right now. It is. I mean, mechanical errors aren't really relevant to this point. What's relevant to this point is that you play the map correctly. You're not playing the map correctly at all. So, to be playing the map correctly, okay? So let's just say we're in this situation that you had in bot lane, okay? There's a wave mid lane right here, or even if there's a wave up here, or even if whatever, wherever the wave is, wherever you're closest to. If you cannot join the fight, and you know for a fact you cannot join the fight, you need to be pressuring things, you need to be pushing things, you need to be making them back off because you're pressuring somewhere else. Because you can't fight with the Rengar with your ultimate down. I'm not going to talk about mechanics this game because you need to learn the map pressure. I'm not going to go into in-depth mechanics of how to team fight with Rengar and all of that, because you'll get to that once you learn how to do this. Because your pathing was great. Besides you, when you were right here, when you just walked down into Scuttle Crab instead of walking up here and doing these camps, your pathing was great this game. It's just the fact that you hover, dude. You need to be making decisions. You need to think before you make decisions, and you need to think, will this work out? Because what I do is, if I go here, right? Say I walk here. If this doesn't work in 2 seconds, or 2 or 3 seconds. If this does not look like it's gankable and I can go in right now in 2 or 3 seconds, I leave because you can't waste that much time. And that's still hovering. That's a bad thing to do still. But when I do it, I don't wait. You can't wait. You can't sit in the bush and wait. That's what you call the odd one strategy, is when you just sit there in the bush and wait, and then you lose the game because you just basically wasted so much time. You don't want to do that. That's a reason why you couldn't carry this game. And you shouldn't be like, well, Chaos, what do I do when I'm not fed, when I'm not carrying? Because you should always be fed, and you should always be carrying. You shouldn't be thinking about what you have to do when you're behind. You should be thinking about what you're going to do to get ahead. That's what I tell people, is you shouldn't be 12 and 10. What you did was correct. Because you're behind, you kept trading 1-for-1. That's your best chance to win the game. But your teammates weren't fed enough to follow up on you trading 1-for-1, except for the Vel'Koz, but he can't really 1v5. So you did play from behind correctly, but you shouldn't be playing from behind. You shouldn't have to do that, is the thing. Do you see what I mean? This is a big thing. I feel like this game will help you out a lot, because you'll probably notice that you do that a lot, and you do hover a lot. And even if it's just twice this game, it still fucks you over entirely. And your build path is inefficient. If you're doing crit build, you shouldn't be going warrior because it delays your mid game. By mid game, you need to have a static shiv, and you need to be building into Infinity Edge. So don't go warrior if you're going crit. I'm not going to say which build you should go because it's pretty much preference at this point. But I still think 80 is better. But you can go crit if you want. Just make sure that you go static shiv. So the build path would be Hunter's Machete. Hunter's Machete, Talisman, CDR Boots, Warhammer, Tiamat, Ghostblade, Static Shiv, IE, and then you can finish your Hydra or go for a Triforce. But the Triforce is for the 40% CDR cap. So basically, this game should help you out a lot. Definitely will. But I'm going to look at a few other ones that you have, and we'll see how that goes too. I'm going to focus on other things in those games, but this game is the most important one for you to realize that you've been hovering a lot, and that's why you can't really carry. Okay. Well, see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.